The Texans defeated the 49ers 16-13 in their second preseason game. The Texans are now 2-0 in the preseason. But again, it's just preseason. Record doesn't matter. Winning doesn't really matter. It's all about, how the players performed, who looked good, who looked bad. Without further ado, let's get into this. Most of the stuff that I guess I jotted down really came from just the starters. The backups, man, second string, third string, it was just all around sloppy. And that goes for both teams. I thought both teams, after the starters went out, it just looked bad. It looked terrible. It looked like preseason football. Both teams were playing sloppy. It didn't help that there was all these flags being thrown either. I think there was like a total of 23 flags thrown or something like that. It was just outrageous. It was a boring game after Watson and Jimmy Garoppolo went to the bench, if I'm being honest. But, let's start off with what I saw. Okay, so the first drive, obviously, the Niners kind of easily drive down the field. Easily. The one play that kind of stood out was the one where Kevin Johnson got beat by Goodwin, and then Kevin Johnson got concussed. Am I concerned about that? Not really, because there's not many receivers out there that are track stars like Goodwin. But that hit Kevin Johnson took to the head, man. It was definitely concerning. I thought it might have been a shoulder, but after they showed the replay, I was like, oh, that's a concussion. And it is indeed a concussion. He should be back in a week or two. Now, the rest of the drive was pretty much just Jimmy Garoppolo finding players that are wide open. Like, wide open. It was just missed assignments. I think it was Zach Cunningham that kind of abandoned his assignment twice, which is something I don't really expect him to do during the regular season, at least I hope. And then, the touchdown play, Aaron Colvin got beat in the end zone on, I think it was like a slant route. Not too sure if it was a slant, but like in the back of the end zone. But yeah, Aaron Colvin got beat, and I'm pretty sure like a lot of people are going to be overreacting to that. But I mean, it's not that big of a deal, because if we're being honest, Garoppolo had like 5 or 6 seconds to throw on that play. I mean, you can't expect a corner to cover that long. And again, to be fair, I mean, just look who was playing. Kevin Johnson got hurt, so he was out. Joseph didn't play. Reader didn't play. McKinney didn't play. Merciless didn't play. Clowney didn't play. Watt didn't play. Tyrann Mathieu didn't play. Those are 8 players that weren't there in that situation. 7 defensive starters didn't play at all against the Niners. So, a lot of this easy drives down the field, I'd say it's most likely due to that. The Niners had pretty much all their starters in on offense. Just their defense, like 3 starters: Solomon Thomas, DeForest Buckner, and Richard Sherman. Other than that, most of the Niners were out there. But the defense did get shredded by Jimmy Garoppolo twice in 2 drives, because Jimmy Garoppolo was easily driving down the field again with his second drive. But then, I want to say it was their center, he got a false start, or was it a holding call, followed by another penalty. So it kind of backed them up, and then Jimmy Garoppolo overthrew his receiver, threw the ball too high, and Badamosi came up with a pick, which really wasn't that impressive to me. I mean, it was just a bad throw by Jimmy. Had none of that happened, our defense would have allowed 14 points right off the bat to Jimmy Garoppolo. After that, the rest of the defense pretty much looked okay, I guess, but I don't think that has to do with our defense. And when I mean our defense, I mean like backups and third stringers. It looked okay, but for the most part, it was because the Niners looked bad too. I mean, the game was just an all-around mess. Now, we do have some players that stood out on defense. Of course, Ejiofor, again, he was on special teams. I think he made like 2 or 3 tackles on special teams. He had a few pressures, and he had a beautiful end-around tackle. I want to say it was on the first 49ers drive. The guy's going to be a good player, man. Like, I had a feeling he was going to be good, but I didn't think he'd be good, this quick, you know? Hopefully it can translate into the regular season. It'd be really nice to have a situational pass rusher to help out Clowney, Watt, and Merciless. Divergent again had a pretty bad game. Davin Bellamy had that pick that someone tipped. I forgot who tipped it, but it just pretty much landed in his hands. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Other than that, I don't really think there was anything else worth noting about the defense. I mean, definitely let me know if I missed something, because I was definitely distracted during this game, so I wasn't able to quite really watch it. I would really usually watch it. I was kind of just like glancing over and stuff, and you know, yeah. Anyways, though, the offense, man, Deshaun Watson's back. Deshaun Watson would have gone 8 for 8 on that drive, man. 8 for 8, he would have gone. But Braxton Miller dropped the pass, and Bruce Ellington dropped 2. But I mean, the Braxton one was pretty bad. The Ellington ones were also bad, but I guess Ellington kind of made up for it, because Ellington was kind of Watson's go-to target on that drive. I think he had like 3 receptions for like 50-something yards, and of course the touchdown that he caught. I mean, Watson looked on point. He was accurate. He knew what he was doing. He had full command of the offense. He looked sharp, man. Like, I was honestly worried about Watson, because there were reports that he was struggling, or you know, just the offense in general was struggling versus the Niners in the joint practices, and that Watson had been up and down against the Niners, and like one practice without the Niners, like the day before the Niners showed up. So I was definitely concerned. I was like, oh my god, maybe it's a sophomore slump or something. But Watson looked fine, and I understand, you know, it's preseason. It's vanilla offense and vanilla defense, but you know, still, it's good to see that number 4 is out there. He has full command of the offense. He was pinpoint accurate with his passes. He knew what he was doing. The offense was moving at a fast pace. Just all around good. And then, you know, just imagine how it would all look with Will Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins, you know? It makes you excited. And something to note, I want to say it was a 3rd down play. Pope ran a wrong route, ended up in the same area as Bruce Ellington, and Deshaun Watson kind of got mad at him, you know, started yelling at him, and that's good. Watson's showing complete control of the team. It's his team now. That's really cool. Really liked what Watson did. For one drive, he looked amazing. And another thing that looked amazing too on that first drive, offensive line. Offensive line didn't allow any pressures, but you also got to consider DeForest Buckner, who is the Niners' best pass rusher, wasn't playing, and Solomon Thomas, who's probably their 2nd best pass rusher, also wasn't playing. So that's definitely their note, but still, I mean, last year any scrub could have easily gotten pressure on our quarterbacks. You know, you had Xavier Su'a-Filo out there, you had Breno Giacomini, Jeff Allen. Anyone would have been able to get pressure on a quarterback or get a sack, but our offensive line kept Watson clean, and even on the second series, they kept Brandon Whedon clean. The offensive line was out there, or the starting offensive line was out there, for 2 series, and they did a good job of keeping the quarterbacks clean. So that's definitely good. You also have to consider, though, that when Watson was out there, they were running quick passes, so that could have been the reason behind it. But the praise stops there when it comes to the offensive line. Offensive line in the run game, yeah, didn't look that good. And that really goes to all the offensive line, second string, third string, all of them. They couldn't get a push up front in the run game. Run game was non-existent, and of course, it doesn't help that the running backs weren't really even performing that well either. I mean, you had Coleman fumble, you had Blue fumble. The running game just looked like a disaster. I don't know if it was the Niners just having great depth at defensive line, but there was reports that the run game was struggling during the joint practices, so it might be more of a Niners thing than a Texans thing. I don't know. That's still yet to be seen, but definitely keep an eye out for that moving forward. And that's pretty much it when it comes to, I guess, the starters. Now, to me, Brandon Weeden looked pretty bad out there. So did Joe Webb. So this really didn't help determining who the backup quarterback is going to be. I mean, Joe Webb did have that beautiful game-winning drive, and Joe Webb can make plays with his legs, but for the most part, Joe Webb is inaccurate. And Weeden did not look good. Sammy Coates, though, man, even though he had like 8 targets and only caught like 3 passes before he went out with a concussion, he looked pretty damn good, man. I think Sammy Coates, and it might be a stretch, but he's kind of like a, I guess, mini DeAndre Hopkins. Not quite as polished as D-Hop, of course, but Weeden looked really comfortable throwing to him. Third down, throw up the ball to Sammy Coates. He's going to go up and get it. And that's what I mean as a mini DeAndre Hopkins. This guy is reliable, I guess you could say. So, I think Sammy Coates has probably secured his spot on the roster. And I think Ellington did too. So now I think it might be Braxton Miller on the outside looking in. However, I still 100% believe that Miller will still make the team. I think the Texans carry 6 wide receivers. Other than that, though, I don't really think I have much else. I mean, other than maybe Nick Rose missing a PAT. You know, yeah, just get him out of here. He sucks. But yeah, I don't have much else. Like I said, I didn't really watch the game as I usually do. You know, looking out for everything. So that's really all I have. So yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely comment though if I missed something. And I'm pretty sure I missed stuff. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.